Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me. You know, one of the things that I don't trust Keir Starmer with is Brexit, or honouring the result of the referendum way back when, although it was a close run thing. I voted for Brexit. I had my reasons and I've explained them on this channel many times. Now, the reason I don't trust Keir Starmer is because he's one of a gaggle of politicians that turned round and said during the lead up to the referendum, it would be a once in a lifetime vote. There'll never be any going back on it. Blah, blah, blah. It's well documented. You can find that everywhere. And then in the wake of the referendum result, which, let's face it, none of them probably expected, he did everything in his power to try and reverse it, along with other politicians. Again, all the footage and evidence of what I'm saying is publicly available. Now, there's been talk about a reset of our relationship with the EU. Now, to me, a reset of our relationship is to try and get us back in. No two ways about it. And I've suggested this, and it'll never happen, Andy, or it could take years, Andy, or whatever. Well, have a look at this news article here. And this talks about Labour preparing to introduce some free movement to secure new deals with Brussels. Now, this was always going to happen. The European Union, now let's get the distinguishment correct. There's the European Union and there's Europe. I'm talking about the European Union, are a bully. They will say, we want our way or you don't get no way. And if you approach them to negotiate in any way, shape or form whatsoever, they will tell you what they want to happen before they even start to listen. And this is an example. Now, the news article, I'll read you some bits of this. Europe's youth, now note youth, would be allowed to come and live or work in the UK freely under plans considered by Labour ministers. The Prime Minister has pushed for a relations reset with the EU and its most powerful member states, but his party has insisted time and again that no plans were in place for any sort of youth mobility scheme. Now, straight away, this is, well, what can you say? A betrayal of something they've said time and time again, what we come to expect from our politicians these days. Despite downplaying speculation, government sources reveal they would have to give ground on free movement for under 30s in order to secure closer ties to the bloc. How many young people in this country are there that A, haven't been presented with an opportunity to start in life, or B, struggle to find one when they go and look for it themselves? The scheme, young people from across the EU, including those from states like Bulgaria and Romania, will be allowed to live and work in Britain for up to 3 years, with the offer reciprocally extended to Britain's youth on the continent. Okay. The scheme will bring the EU into lockstep with countries including Australia and Canada, whose young people can live and work freely in the UK for a period, and vice versa. No one will say it publicly at this stage, but there is an acknowledgement that this is an area where we would need to move. One government source told The Times. They continue, if we're serious about resetting the relations with the EU, then we need to be prepared to give them some of the things that they want. Why? We left, didn't we? Because we wanted control of our country. You know, I'm not entirely convinced that we did leave, really, you know, as fully as we expected. It's been a complete cock-up. And it's given the left of politics ample ammunition to stick the boot in again and again. While another source said that while the government has not proposed any plans for a youth mobility scheme, Starmer's lot are ready to listen to what the EU had to say on the issue, though have set total free movement as a red line. Yes, and it goes on. You know, this little morsel about free movement, I believe, is the first in several steps towards reintegration, or as Labour seems to want to put it, a reset. It'll start with the youth, then what will it be next? And then, if you create or you implement a change on a populace just like that, there'll be uproar. But if you just creep it in slowly and get people used to it, a little bit at a time, it may be a little bit different. I smell a big rat with all this and a very big betrayal coming down the line. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and of course share me on your social media. As always, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.